All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fellow veterans, and the truly amazing folks out there that love us through our faults. Welcome to another episode of Heart of a Volunteer Veterans Podcast. This is episode 020, titled Obstacles Are Stepping Stones. All right. Hey, we got a little bit of veterans business to get to before we jump into this red hot episode we got waiting for you. So the first thing I want to do is I want to thank all the listeners. The only real tools that we have are you. The likes, the comments, and the sharing in the last 3 weeks has been amazing. The numbers have almost doubled. You're giving the show some real legs. They're really small. You get tiny legs, but you're fast. Continue doing what you're doing, please, because the support you're giving these veterans is amazing. Thank you again for the support that you've been given. But here's the thing. The real heavy hitters, the real heavy lifters, it's being done by the humble veterans that come onto the podcast, sharing parts of their life of service with us, and leaving us to ponder, reach out, open up, and discover a small part in ourselves to work on. Thank you for the veterans that have come on. It's done life-changing things to a few we know of. We can and we will reach more. Stay with it. Stick with it, guys, gals. We can get her done, all right? Hey, so this episode, all right, I want everybody to really stick with this show, all right? Stick with this episode all the way to the end. There's good stuff anchored in this episode just by nature. That's just the way it came out. Listen to the show. Listen to our veteran guest. He's got some lessons. He's got some emotion, and it's an amazing show. I'm excited for everybody to be a part of it. All right. All right. So, hey, in the spirit of what we do here, we're going to go ahead and introduce once again. All right. Breach Bolt Jungle podcast premieres July 4th. All right. Breach Bolt Jungle podcast, veteran hosted, self-funded, two brothers, Chris and Justin Tucker. Go on there, like their page on Facebook, and take a little listen here.
Breach Bolt Jungle. It's a podcast using primary sources to lift the fog of war on topics relating to military history. Breach Bolt Jungle is where the metal and the men fought the enemy in the terrain in order to accomplish their military mission. If you like podcasts and you like military history, then look us up on Facebook or anywhere you download podcasts. That's Breach Bolt Jungle.
All right, folks. Hey, you know the deal. Go on there. If you're not a history person, but you know a veteran or even a civilian out there that is a military history buff, go and let them know about the show. All right. Give them what they need to, help them to think about things and, be engaged. All right. So, help them out. All right. Hey, the next bit we got here is an organization, actually, warriorrising.org. Warrior Rising. They're also on Facebook. But hey, they work with veterans and building businesses. All right. They've got resources there. I've got a little bit of, I got some sound from them. So let's go ahead and run that reel.
Warrior Rising is a family of veterans and veteran supporters helping other veterans. Warrior Rising, it's a nonprofit organization that assists veterans in starting their own businesses.
We provide funding, we provide grants, we provide mentoring, we provide connections, everything we can to help a warrior make the transition from the battleground in physical combat to the battleground in entrepreneurship. We focus on entrepreneurs, which we call vetrepreneurs. We have a vast network of mentors that we can connect them with. We have funding available. We have fundraising events that we hold around the country at various points through the year where we bring our vets out and help them raise money directly for their businesses. We can also invest or grant money directly from Warrior Rising funds that we raise generally. We have marketing services available, basically every kind of toolkit service that you would need to start a company from scratch. We provide this to our veterans. We're talking about those who know how to work hard, who don't quit, who never give up, who are resourceful. We're talking about our veterans, even if they don't have any business training.
And we consider it a hand up and not a handout.
All right, folks. Hey, if you have the desire to have your own business, if you're ready to start one, or you need some help, you need to get with these guys. All right. 3 veterans started this organization. Reach out to them. warriorrising.org. Okay. warriorrising.org. They're also on Facebook. Okay. I think I shared that. A lot of people jumped on board. If you're looking for something, check them out. No obligation. Check them out. All right. So, hey, I was asked earlier this week what the podcast does. And, without really, putting a whole lot of time and thought about it, I kind of did the canned version. Uniting veterans, sharing resources, ideas, stories, helping each other build each other up. And that question, it stuck with me all week. But my weak sauce answer provided the help to a better answer and actually a purpose: to cultivate resiliency. There's no reason to build or rebuild, restructure, rewire something that is there already. It's simply resting, waiting to be activated. I think the veterans that come on are doing that in themselves and in others, selflessly. Maybe I'm off. I don't know. That's just my own thoughts. But I wanted to share it because I think cultivating resiliency is a big thing. But hey, don't take my word for it. Our veteran guest today is no stranger in cultivating resiliency. See, folks, how I just brought that in? He has spent the better half of his life in chaos with obstacles stacking up against him. Each one of those obstacles he's used to advance upward and onward. I personally have a lot of respect for our guest. I think you will too when you hear him. Please welcome Byran Tosh Tashima to the show. Welcome to the show, bro.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm doing great. Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Dude, it's good. It's been good. It's been good reconnecting with you, man.
It's been awesome. Yeah.
So what's going on, man? What are you doing? Where are you at right now?
I'm over in Las Vegas, Nevada. I live over in an area called Henderson, like 30 minutes away from, the strip, away from there. Try to move
south, right?
Away. Yeah, south.
South?
Very south. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going towards LA, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been through Henderson before. I think when I left Vegas, when I left hauling my fifth wheel, I went through Henderson, I think. So heading back home to Kansas, man, shutting her down. Yeah. So so here's the thing, man. What do people do there in like the Las Vegas, Henderson area? Like just, do you go to the strip and like hang out and see stuff, or you just, do you really just stay away from it because you've had enough? What's the feel there?
To be honest, I try to avoid the strip. Not something.
Hey, Tosh.
We'll hit a show or something, like a circus show. Okay.
Hey, we were a little glitch there. Can you you guys just kind of go catch shows? You said.
Yeah, we just get shows sometimes, but
Yeah.
that's about it. I don't do any of the other things that what they got to offer. Try to avoid it. I live in a very quiet neighborhood, like a bunch of senior citizens up here, pretty much. Mostly 90% senior citizens where I'm at. It's just real quiet where I'm at.
Yeah,
I love it.
you can't beat that, man. I think
No.
one of my buddies lives over there. John, he retired. I think him and his wife, Kim, they live there. So yeah, definitely. I'll have to, if I make it out that way, I'll have to come see you, man.
Oh, for sure. You better.
Definitely. All right, Tosh. Well, hey, man. A lot of our listeners, they know you. Man, they're waiting to hear. They're waiting to hear from you, man. You are a charismatic, extremely compassionate leader. Man, it was always good having you platoon. I was very, very, very mad that you were forced to leave. But we've talked about that, and
Right.
but man, you've lived an amazing life, man. So let's get into it, brother. Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Start from the beginning, and let's shake 'em and bake 'em.
So, I really don't know where to start. There's so much I can share and say.
What about where you were born, man? Where'd everything start? Where was little Byran?
I was actually born in Honolulu, Hawaii, and grew up there. My mom was a single mom at the time with 3 boys, and she remarried. So we relocated to Long Beach, California, and that's where I grew up. Was Southern California the rest of my teens, and that's where I ended up joining the military. Was from Southern California when I was 19, going on 20.
Now you're are you what number are you out of the 3 boys?
I was the youngest. The youngest, yeah.
What are your 2 older brothers doing? What are they up to? Did they join the military?
No, they both they work in management for different businesses. They're managers at different businesses. One's pretty popular in Hawaii called ABC Store. So that's
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it's like an executive buyer over there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Hey, so I mean, did you have any? We always talk, with our guests. Was there a veteran or veterans in your life, or were you, you lived there in Hawaii? Were you close to one of the bases where you saw these things? What was the deal?
Actually, no. My stepdad was in the Navy, and my dad did some time in the Army, but there weren't really an impact on me joining or anybody I looked up to. And really, it was my own decision on doing it. I didn't have anybody to look up to or motivate me on doing it. It was my decision at the time in my life where I was headed. Either I could join the military or do bad things. So
I got to tell you, Tosh, that doesn't surprise me in the least, man. That doesn't surprise me because you're self-motivated.
Right.
You see a deficiency, and you're on it. That doesn't surprise me, brother. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you take off, man, and you go to Fort Benning.
Right.
Were you prepared physically and mentally for what you're going into?
No, I wasn't. I didn't know what I was getting into. My recruiter, I'm sure like many recruiters back then, would just show you a video, and like I said, I didn't have anybody. So once I saw that video, that was my motivation. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid. I was afraid of heights. I get the heebie-jeebies if I go in a high area. I still get it. But I did it. He pumped me up and motivated me, and I signed up to go airborne. Didn't know what to expect. All I saw was a video of guys going out doing halos. That's what he showed me. So that's what I thought I was going to do. Just not a static line thing. I didn't know anything about that.
You didn't know you were going to get kicked out of the aircraft. You thought you were going to step into the breeze. I got you. Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. I would get kicked out. Yeah.
Hey, so hey, Tosh, we were talking. You were in basic.
Correct.
Much like one of our other listeners, and for the life of me, I can't remember right offhand. But you were in basic when 9/11 happened.
Correct.
What
I was.
Man, let's talk about that with the listeners, because there's a lot of listeners that are in that that were in that situation at the same time. So give us your feel, man. What was that feeling like to you?
So It was in basic training, and Alpha 254. It was the Gators, and my drill sergeants at the time were Drill Sergeant Dowdy and Drill Sergeant Sam White Eagle, and so we're just carrying on like normal. And one afternoon, morning-ish, I can't even recall the time. They started freaking out, and they didn't say anything in the beginning. Then they started rolling in these TVs on these big TVs on those rollers, you know, and they put it on. They put on the towers getting hit, you know, and we were shocked. I mean, we were just sitting around, and some guys were upset, you know, and some guys people were crying because they had family there, you know. It was a emotional time, and people, you know, just a shock of what's going on, and you know, we knew we're going to go to war at that point.
Yeah.
And
would you say the mood changed with like the training? Did the training? I mean, I know you wouldn't have anything to map it against, but
yeah, just from my point of view, and you know, looking back at it, I think. From what I saw is I think the drill sergeants and all them were like, hey, get these guys ready, and I think they didn't know how to get us ready, and they just got us to do like patrols. Yeah, it definitely changed to get us prepared when we got to our units, what to expect. We're in our last few weeks, and like I said, that was just basic. I had still airborne school, so everything changed. I mean, just seeing everybody on base, you know, when I transitioned over to airborne school, it was totally different.
Yeah, we were both on Benning, man, when that happened. I was teaching at the sniper school with my fellows over there. Yeah, so man, I definitely know what Benning looked like.
Yeah,
you know, the months after that, it was just that. I mean, it's a complete change.
Right.
It'll never be the same. Never. Yep. Hey, so airborne school, man. Did you know where you were going when you went to airborne school?
Yeah, I did. I signed up for Italy, you know, and I, you know, being a young kid and going to Europe, that's why I did it. And that was for me to do it was go to airborne school.
What'd you think about airborne school?
I'm afraid of heights still, you know, but I didn't give up, you know, and my black hat got me to like, or not really like, but got me to do it, you know,
yeah.
and guide me through it, not just kick me out of the tower, which he did, but teach me how to like not be so, you know, nervous when I did it. So I remember telling him, he's like, just look straight when you jump, look straight, don't look down, just look straight and just step off.
Right.
So that's all I did every single time. Yeah. Every single time. Yeah, I had no issues.
Well, you know, they say if you look down, you throw your body out of position anyway.
Yeah, true.
To walk out like a distinguished gentleman out of an aircraft operates perfectly. You got to keep your head up. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
I tell you what. So one of my I forget what jump it was. I want to say fifth jump. I lost my helmet. No, it was my first jump. I lost my helmet. It flew off my head. Yeah. And, you know, knowing just what I had to do was a proper PLF and all that, I'm like, oh man, the whole way down, I'm thinking,
don't land on your head.
My head. Yeah. I gotta protect my head. So I landed fine. And then I'm walking back. And I'm like, oh man, I got to pay for this helmet. You know, I got to pay for this helmet. I don't know how much it's going to cost out of my pocket. I lost it. I don't know what this black hat's going to smoke me. And I'm walking to the assembly area, and I hear they yelling my roster number, and he has this one of these black hats has my helmet on the ground. This thing almost hit me. I don't know if it really did or not, but he handed it to me no problem. But I was freaking out.
That's crazy, man. I sat there and watched one of the jumps, because I mean there'd be days we'd be off, you know, at the sniper school, and hell, I just get in the pickup, man, drive out to the drop zone and watch it. I've seen helmets come off, and then
scary.
They did a Ranger Rendezvous, and they jumped out. They threw out the wind dummy, and there was people in the stands that were like, "Oh, what? Whoa!" And I'm like, "What? What are you all doing? This wind dummy, bro?" But that was funny. Hey, so what did you think about 173rd, man? I always wanted to go there. I think there's a lot of folks that would love to go to Vicenza, man, and just kind of, see the environment. Of course, you were going there, kind of with a different feel, but tell us about that, man.
Surprisingly, when we got there, training was ramped up. But obviously when I got there, so I didn't really get to really enjoy it as much people probably do now or before. I want to say, but I did have a good time there. Met some really good leaders, and that's the highlight of it, was the people I met there. But training was ramped up, and we were gone. We were gone in Graf and Veer, Hohenfels, the box, and we were just hit it hard. Yeah, it was. I really didn't get to enjoy Europe like I thought I was going to.
Right. I think there's a lot of folks, man, during this, especially war on terror, man, they haven't gotten a chance to, enjoy it. I didn't get a chance to really enjoy Hawaii. I mean, you figure all the off-island training we did, and then,
exactly.
A 12 and a 15-month deployment.
Right.
I'll get back over there.
Yeah.
I'll get back there. Hey, who was your sergeant major over there? Do you remember?
It was, Sergeant Major, Günther. Sergeant Major Günther.
Okay.
Yeah, Sergeant Major Günther. I still write him every now and then. He does Ironman competitions now.
Hey, why don't you give him my number, man? Have him give me a shout.
Okay, will do.
I'd love to talk. I love to talk Sergeant Major Günther and have him come on the show.
He does triathlons, and he's a beast.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, man, you go from 173rd, and did you? I know you went to the 25th. Did you pick that because you?
I was actually deployed in Kirkuk at the time, and it was time to re-enlist. And they said, hey, you get a duty station of choice. And it was First Sergeant Overstreet at the time. He's like, hey, if you pick Hawaii, because he already knew I wanted Hawaii, and he said, you pick Hawaii. You better be prepared. They're getting deployed.
Yeah.
And you be prepared for that. And you're gonna have some stabilization, possibly maybe 90 days there to hang out with your family. But most likely you're gonna go.
Yeah.
I said, I want to go spend time in Hawaii. It's home. It's my home.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and signed up for it. Knowing I was gonna get sent anyways. I took that risk and just go. And we were there in Kirkuk. I think we did it was on the 13th month, and we know we're going to get sent back, and I was like, it's okay, I'll sign up for it.
So you knew you were gonna be deploying again. You knew you were going to be deploying again, right, regardless of where you were going. So you wanted to pick your own.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that, man. I think that's a good choice.
Mm-hmm.
How was that first deployment, man? Pretty low impact. What do you think?
Oh, it was as we did a jump into Bashir. Moved over to Kirkuk. We did a drive over there. I was in a scout platoon. Sergeant Horval was my team leader at the time, and we cleared the Warrior. It was empty. I mean, nothing was there. I mean, now it's, when we were there, it was built up. You had it all there. It was nothing when we got there. There's foxholes. There were positions, like gun positions, that had all the 8A guns were loaded, ready, and we had to put the thermites in there and destroy them. And their equipment just ready to go. It's like they just got up and left. So it wasn't as what I thought it was going to be.
Right.
Like it wasn't, but as the tours kept coming along, they kept getting worse, but it wasn't bad the first.
How was that jump, man? What did you feel going into that jump?
Oh, it was everybody was pumped up. I mean, it was crazy. We were Albiano Air Base, and they had us pumped up. I mean, there were guys crying. There were guys scared. There were guys that didn't want to jump. But man, the rest of us, we were pumped. We had guys in mohawks. We had guys painting their face, making signs, motivating each other.
Hell yeah.
Even the guys on the plane, you know, that was just didn't take off that, you know. We were trying to motivate them too. But yeah, not all of us got out the bird. I was one of the first ones out.
You were one of the first ones out in your chalk?
And we had, we had some Air Force guys with us, with our scout team, and we were way down. We had mortar rounds, we had all kind of stuff in our rucksacks. They tried to even our load out, and what we went into, we were not prepared for. We didn't have any cold. We didn't have all that cold weather gear. We didn't know.
Yeah.
But once we hit that mud, it was mud. It was like quicksand, you know. It ate us up, and it's like moon. You just moon dust, like not moon dust, but it was just mud, like slush. Yeah. I mean, like every step was going down almost to your calf muscle, you know, pretty much like every step, and you're way down with that rucksack. It was rough.
Yeah, that would suck, man.
Yeah,
that would suck. Yeah, that's. I want to talk to you some more about that. And maybe get a couple more people that were there with you and have a discussion, man, if you guys are up for that. I think that'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Capture
Jumping out the plane, that was pretty cool, because coming down, I mean, it was a fast, they dropped us pretty low.
Oh, yeah.
So all I remember was seeing the flashes in the distance, and that's all I could see. It was so dark, and just the flashes of the mist, you know, the whatever, the ordnance that was going off in the distance or whatever. I see that going off, and, you know, as soon as I hit the ground, right when I dropped my rucksack, I hit the ground pretty much.
Oh yeah.
It was like, dude, because I could hear it, and I just like, oh, okay, ground's coming up. I dropped my rucksack.
Yeah.
and then I hit the ground hard. It was mud, like I said, and then, you know, you got your nods strapped around your neck, so everybody's putting it on and getting their rifle ready, and you could, once I put my nods on, see everybody else like freaking out, you know, what's around us. So, you know, it was interesting.
Yeah, you know, I've never done you know, a jump like that, man. But I've been, you know, I went down there to JRTC to OC 82nd when they came in and did their mass jump back in 2014, maybe. And of course, there were horses. Those wild horses were on the drop zone.
Oh wow!
And they had dudes landing. Well, the horses, you know, there's all that grass is super high, and those horses, they just lay down. And so, you know, they had a Humvee that drove through the middle. It was trying to kind of rouse them up. But, you know, they move and go wherever they want. And on the other side of the mountain of the Mount town there, Mount Village, was like a corral for them to like drink water and everything. So they're in that area. There was troopers dropping like right next to them. Horses were jumping up. Guys were taking off their Kevlars, trying to protect themselves out there. It was pretty funny. I enjoyed it. I stood on the road, man, and just watched with nods. So, all right, Tosh. Well, hey, man, let's get into your 25th time, man. I know, you know, from us talking, you know, neither one of us really got a lot of island time, man. We just kind of jumped right into they put us right into the breach.
That's true.
So, man, if you want to jump right into the deployments, man, that's totally on you, and we can do that.
Okay. You know, I got to Hawaii. I did have some time off actually, and I appreciated that very much. Got some time to catch up with my dad, my oldest brother. He's there. I got to catch up with him and his family, my nephew's cousins. Had a lot of family time when I was there, and it was amazing. And I got to see you guys leave. I remember in the hall, everybody. And they looked at me because they knew I was staying. They're like, "This guy's staying back. What is he doing?" I was part of their platoon, but I was gonna be on rear D. So really, I was useless at that point. You know, I felt useless because they knew I just got back too. And a few of the guys I met there that I got to know later. So you guys left, and I was on rear D, you know, just hanging out for a while, you know, and like a month went by, and that's when we got a call. It was it was Bryant. Bryant was there with me. He was like rear D NCOIC, and he let us know that Corporal Fraze he got killed over there. You know, and they said that they're going to need some guys to go and be prepared. And sure enough, all the majority of the guys on rear D, the ones other than just the ones that are getting punished, though, we all went. Yeah. We went over.
Who'd you go over with, and where'd you do you remember?
I went over there with Peyton. He was my Jason Payton. He was my roommate at the time. Him and I, and a few other guys. And yeah, him and I, we were pretty close. And yeah, he ended up getting killed too. Yeah, him and I went over together, and a few other NCOs. It was Turk, I believe, another guy named Turk.
Sergeant Turk.
Yeah.
I like Turk, man. The Turk, we call him the Turkish. Dude's a beast, man.
Yeah.
He was our Raven operator, man.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah, so yeah, we all went over, and yeah, that's when we linked up, and I saw everybody that I saw leave, you know, and I remember them.
What company did you go to, man? You remember?
I went to, it was Alpha Company.
Mako?
No, I'm sorry. I went to Scouts right off the bat. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I went to Scouts right off the bat.
I think you got
RTO.
Yeah, you got to the Scout platoon kind of around the time I was getting ready to leave.
I don't even remember the platoon sergeant's name. I just know the platoon leader. I was with him majority of the time. It was Griswolski.
Oh, the Grizz? Yeah.
Yeah, I was with him majority of the time. I can't recall. Carter? What's his name?
Sergeant Carter. Yeah. It was.
Yeah, that's who it was.
It was. It would have been Sergeant First Class Norman, and then I think Norman went to. He might have went to Charlie Company and took over a platoon there, and then Sergeant Carter actually came from having a platoon to take over the Scout platoon. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. That's who I went over there with as the platoon RTO. You know. Yeah.
Do you guys have any memorable missions there in the Scout platoon?
Oh yeah. So when I got there, you know, it was like, hey, settle in, get a little bit of hands on everything, meet the guys, and I want to say like a week later I got there. I went on my first mission, you know. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, this is Afghanistan, totally different from Iraq, and it was you guys had been there already, so this is my first thing. I'm just asking questions, you know, and went on that first mission. We got ambushed.
Yeah, down in the water.
We were with AT, and one of our vehicles' axle was it busted. I want to say it was my vehicle, and on the back of that vehicle, you know, and AT wanted to push up and check out around the corner, and go do a little quick recon, make sure it was clear. And we're sitting on the back of our Humvee, just kind of like waiting for this vehicle to get fixed or what they can do.
Yeah, because we're riding around we're riding in cargo Humvees with Kevlar sheets bolted to the side.
Yeah, that would get in your arms and get under your armpits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a thing. That's a thing, man, that I don't think, you know, when you look back to, you know, the early deployments, we had light skin Humvees with Kevlar blankets, like in the driver and TC seat, and then sandbags way in the back end of it down to protect the feet, and then, you know, some Kevlar sheets on the side. You know, I don't think it was fiberglass, really, kind of like not really even Kevlar, but that was crazy, man. That was crazy, unbelievable.
Yes, and there's one time I remember. You remember Wade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one time he was so pissed off because I think we're trying to change a tire and that damn thing was in the way, and he got so pissed. I remember he just himself picked up something. It was just so heavy. I was like, oh my goodness, he's upset. But we got it done. He was just not having it. He was just so upset of those things. Yeah, I remember that one day he got upset. But so going back to that story, they went to recon around the corner, and we're still back. And that's when those rounds started going off.
Yeah.
It was more of explosions, a lot of them, and gunfire.
That was, I got to be honest with you, man. I think that was the first time that we had made contact.
Oh, wow.
Because we were actually gathered there to do like to initiate a battalion mission. So we were there like doing maneuvering out there before we started, to push out. And that was like our first time. So, I mean, it makes sense because, the enemy tends to like observe you for a while.
Right.
And then they figure out what you're doing and then they try to hit you. So it just took that much time for them to realize what was really going on. And they started kind of, trying to bring it on us. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so the rounds start going off. And, of course, we all reacted. And I remember Clark. I remember Sully on the ground. He was with a medic, or he was with someone. Someone was helping him and doing aid on him. And I ran by and it was like, I remember saying, Sully, and then I just couldn't stop. I just had to keep running towards the fight, But I remember stopping for a little bit and I was like, Sully. And yeah, I just saw him there and just kept running up the hill with whoever I was with. And it was Marcinko up there, I want to say. And yeah, it was Marcinko. And getting to that top of the hill where we were at, and we saw these two Iraqis down there. They had those RPKs in the brush. Mm-hmm. And that's when we started engaging, and he started lobbing 2 or 3 rounds at them, Yeah, it was pretty intense. I remember that pretty well.
Well, I know why you guys are rocking that, man. We were getting aircraft on station and had the ground commander's pointer out guiding fires. That was fun. Yeah, that was a good time.
QRF came in too.
Yep.
It was Alpha Company, right? Alpha came. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
They always had this thing with moving Alpha Company up there to Lagman. And so it seemed like Alpha Company was always operating out of there. So, yeah. So what do you remember most about that deployment?
A lot of ambushes.
Yeah.
A lot of ambushes. A lot of they see us coming. Mm-hmm. You can hear it on the. I was RTO. I mean, my time there, I was an RTO, so I'm with the. We're getting SIG hits. They called them, and I'm asking the interpreter, what are they saying? And they would see us coming. Like what happened? I hear these guys talking on this radio. I'm like, what are they saying? They're like, they see us coming. They're saying, bring the big gun up to the hill. So I hear this as, like, oh man. Okay, then I would just have to radio everybody and let them know this is what's going on.
And we were at the opening of the Argandab, and we just come around the corner, and we're on foot, and it's like it's probably about 3 or 4 clicks past the police station, like right there at the mouth, and we're walking, and there's a couple of blown up cars like on the side of the road, and literally like the interpreter is right there with Lieutenant Soule, and says, hey sir, they said that they can see us by the the blown up car. And I look over, and the blown up car is like right next to me, and I'm like, this isn't good, sir, let's go. And we started getting, it was crazy, man. It's good times though, I mean, it's one of those things I look back and it's a better part of my time.
You know what though? I always tell everybody, and they ask me, how was Afghanistan? How was it over there? How are the people? I'll tell you one thing. Afghanistan is for me anyway, it's beautiful. I got to see some like waterfalls and like creeks and just these pretty nice areas we would go through, and got to meet some the Mongolians out there. Some pretty, and they look Asian, they're the monks, and so they treated me pretty well,
Yeah, but Genghis, man, when he came through there, he made sure he left a little bit behind.
I can't say it was that bad. They say we all have a little bit of that in us.
Oh, definitely. There would have been more if Genghis would have kept on pushing, but that's why the world looks like it does today. Well, hey, man, let's. What about your Iraq deployment, man? The last one that you went on.
Okay.
I know that's kind of that was a tough deployment for the Cacti, and actually for the whole brigade, it was a tough deployment.
It was. There's so much to so many things that happened that within that time period of us being there. So many different things.
What sticks out the most, man?
Sticks out the most, I want to say, wow, like all the obstacles that came at us, everything that hit us was nonstop.
Now, what would you say, man, about the soldiers you were with and the leaders in that situation?
I was moved around and 235 quite a bit, so I knew a lot of people there, and so it was tight for me with everybody. I knew everybody, and everybody was great. All the leaders knew me. I knew all the leaders there, yourself, everybody. So when things would happen, it would just hit me in a way, like I was on the radio, or if I hear anything, when you guys were out, or you guys would leave and I'm out, I would hear everything on the radio. So I knew the moving pieces,
Right. And you knew the people.
Yeah. And as far as what stuck out was just the people, all my family, all you guys, all the incidents that happened,
Yeah.
That's what stands out the most. I can't say anything else that stood out other than that. The great people I've met and known there, and the ones that have passed, doing what they do.
Right. And you lost your roommate that you had when you first got to 25th.
Right.
During that deployment, right?
Yes, I did. This was during that helicopter crash. I think it was more than. Hook was one of my gunner my 240 gunner. He wanted to go scout so bad. It was his thing. He wanted to go. So I pushed for him to go, and he went. And Peyton was on the helicopter too. And then they had gone down. I was with Bravo Company at the time, 3rd Platoon, with O'Keefe, and Mettinger's squad went out there to the site. I think everything happens for a reason. He went out there, his team went out there to the site and secured the helicopter site. And, yeah.
That was a tough day, man.
It was.
It kind of felt like we were getting hit pretty hard during that time period.
Yeah, during that time, it was, during that time, especially you guys, I remember, like, nonstop with you guys.
Yeah.
I would hear about you and your men a lot, like, oh, what, again? That's what I would say, like, you guys again? And, I knew everybody in your platoon. I mean, everybody. I would probably hang out at your place more often than my home place.
Right.
I was, barbecuing, because you guys were my family.
Well, we had a lot of Ohana going on there, man.
Yeah,
lots of Ohana.
Yeah, I would hang out over there at your guys' place all the time, especially after an incident would happen. I would go check, go see my Doria, which is my best friend. I would go over there, go chat it up with her. You guys good? You good? and we'd go hang out, take a load off, and we'd have a good time. We'd barbecue or whatever, get our mind off it, and have a good time, shake it off, and it was good to go.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, man. I gotta. I always say this, man. It's like, being at the sniper school. That was kind of the thing that kind of turned me. But the biggest thing was the soldiers, man. Yeah. Especially during those 2 deployments. The Korengal sticks out to me just because it was just. Oh yeah. It was so heavy, but as far as knowing everybody in the battalion, seeing people walking around. And then going to award ceremonies and seeing these young, Tropic Lightning troopers, man, out there getting awards and doing great things. That, I hated to leave, man, because it was such a strong unit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I can say that stands out too. That's one of the strong points is the people, the camaraderie, how close we were, and it was close. We were really tight, that whole unit, that was an amazing thing. No matter what we had gone through, we were tight.
Right.
It made us much more tighter.
Well, you know what, man? Tosh, I wasn't there before Colonel McBride and Sergeant Major Coleman when they teamed up. I wasn't there before, but I do know that people said that, the unit changed night and day. And I got to tell you, man, it's like, the leadership teams that they put in place, the young NCOs that they groomed through, positive motivation and,
right.
And being in their lives. Well, Colonel McBride was positive. Sergeant Major Coleman was, Sergeant Major Coleman, but he motivated you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what, man? I really think that leadership was still like surging forward still off that growth, from that
right.
From that leadership that we had. And it felt powerful, man. It felt powerful because you were around people that you knew weren't going to let you down.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
I know that's a lot of stuff, man, that veterans, they miss that. They miss that, be around the guys, being around the guys, and then the gals, fellow soldiers.
Yeah, that's what I do.
It's tough.
I miss that a lot. Yeah.
Well, talking about that, man, going like in the transition, what did you do? I know you got out after the 25th. What happened then? Where'd you go?
So getting out the 25th, I was always wanting just to finish off my time, my 8 years. 8 years was my number. Do your 8 years and then get done. I got here with drill sergeant orders for Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and married at the time. I googled Fort Sill, Oklahoma. We had just bought a house over there in Hawaii, and I googled Fort Sill, Oklahoma. I was like, no, I'm going to Hawaii. I'm going to be a geographical bachelor over in this place. So I said no, so I turned that down, and for me to turn that down, I had to fill out the deck statement and get out. So I did my signed the paperwork, and I wanted to finish my time, so I joined the Hawaii National Guard to finish that off. And so coming off of deployments, went over there, and they saw who I was, and they offered me once I got there, hey, do you want to go to Philippines in support of OESP with the Joint Special Operations Task Force? So I of course I did. Yeah.
So you jumped.
I went straight into another deployment.
So you jumped at the opportunity to join the JSOC unit there in the Philippines.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I went. Looking back was deployment, come back, deployment, and so yeah, I went straight into another deployment.
Kind of sounds like you were glutton for punishment, man.
Realist, another deployment.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? What are you doing after you get your 8 years is over, man?
So I actually did 9, finished off over there in Philippines, and Let me rewind a little bit because this is all ties into the story. We had to go to Baghdad for court. We bumped into an old Cacti member, Mark Cooney.
Yeah.
We bumped into him. He was Blackwater at the time. He already got out of 25th, the Army at HOV, and he started contracting. Seeing this guy pull up in his armored Suburban and had a little Protec helmet on, we're like, man, that's Cooney. So he picked us up and took us around and took us to go get some steak at the embassy and showed us what Blackwater was all about. And we're like, man, me and pulling him, we're looking at each other, man, I want to do that. So Mark, I really looked into it, and I asked Mark for his info, gave me his info. He's like, make sure you hit me up when you get out. So fast forwarding, it was time in the Philippines, and it was time for me to get out. And I was like, I'm gonna shoot. It's been a year or so, and I ride him, and he said, "You ready?" I said, "I'm ready." So he helped me out with the packet and submitted everything. I let them know that I was gonna be getting out, my get out date, and they had tickets ready for me. Right when I got cleared the Hawaii National Guard, I had a flight to Virginia for training, Herndon, Virginia for training. And they were going through their transition at the time. It was going Blackwater to Triple Canopy. So It was actually Triple Canopy, which I was hopping into. Yeah.
Now, how was that, man? What did you...
I trained contracting right after that.
Yeah, what did you think about Triple Canopy? What did you think about that?
Oh, I loved it. So I did some time over there in a place called Beersheba, Israel.
Hey, Tosh. Go back just a little bit. It kind of glitched out over here on my side.
Okay, where was I?
Just what from what you thought about Triple Canopy.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Triple Canopy was great. Took care of us. Just like, it's similar to the Army. It was an army of its own. Same thing. You had your chain of command, which was your rank structure pretty much, and you pay. It's just like you're just army of its own. You're gone. You're pretty much a deployment. You're gone away from your family. Pay was a lot better. That's the benefit. But I loved it. I did. I enjoyed my time with Triple Canopy very much. I got to meet just like the Army, got to meet some awesome dudes and that were in different branches. They were Marines, Navy, you name it. They were there. Some SEALs. We had some SEALs, some recon guys from MARSOC. There's a lot of solid dudes there too, just like the Army,
Now, how big is your team that you operate over there? Operate in under different situations.
My team, I was on a low pro team there, low pro advanced team. We had, let's say 10 guys, 9 guys.
Yep.
It was a small team. Tim Strong was our shift leader at the time. And small, we were kind of like you're rolling around, small teams out there, just like that.
And you said it was just two BMWs and 8 guys, right? Just 4 per vehicle, just. Yeah,
right. So I was an advanced team, so we just like a presidential motorcade kind of. You get your advance, they show up, they secure the location, and the movement team will pop in. So just like that, yeah. Sometimes we get more, different location, of course, and situation going on.
Right. So hey, how many deployments did you do with Triple Canopy?
I did 3.
3.
I went to Israel, Talil, Iraq, which is not Warhorse. It was Talil, and then I had Baghdad, which was my last stop.
What happened on your last one? You were just done with it? You decided to go home, or
no? All we would do there. You think about it. What do contractors do? They just work out, eat, and get big, right? That's pretty much a lot of the time. That's what we would do on our off time. Was work out, eat, and get big. So I was always wanting to be in shape ever since, you know, I've been in the Army. I was in shape and want to be the best in shape. So one day it was me and one of my good buddies, Ryan Rayburn. We're doing sprints, intervals, like light pole to light pole, walk a light pole, sprint a light pole around the embassy. And I went all out, 1-on-1. And I heard and felt a big smack on the back of my calf muscle. I mean, it was like I was blasting some, I don't know what kind of music, but it was loud. And it was like I could hear it. It was a smack, and I just went to the ground hard because I was going on a sprint to like a complete stop. So I landed on the ground. Everybody's going to chow at the time. It was about 115 degrees. Everybody's walking to chow hall, and I'm out there running with my buddy, and I fall down. Everybody's wondering what happened to me. So they're asking, and I said, I'm okay. So they carried on. I tried to get back up on my feet, and my right leg just kept giving out. I was like, what's going on? I tried to check if I was shot. No blood, nothing. But my ankle was just kind of somewhat. I mean, it had a little bit of strength, but it was limp. So I sat down. I was like, man, something is wrong. It's not hurting. It was swelling up at the time. When it hurried up and went to see the PA said I sprained my ankle.
Yeah.
That can't be it. And then I went and saw my medic. He was a SEAL Team 1 medic, British athlete. I can't recall his name. And he was my medic, my team medic. And he looks at it. He said, nope, that is ruptured Achilles. Partially ruptured. Achilles. Yeah. He's like, that hole right there, that little divot, that's where your Achilles supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? The PA said I sprained my ankle. Are you sure? He's like, no, he's wrong. I'm right. You partially ruptured your Achilles. He's like, don't doubt me.
Holy cow, man.
Yeah, I was supposed to go on my leave in like 16 days before it happened. And, you know, I was on the ambassador protection. I wasn't on the low pro team. I was on the ambassador protection detail team at the time in Baghdad. It was a low pro advanced team for the ambassador protection detail. And that's all he would want to ride in is nobody would want to ride in the Suburbans. They would want to ride in our vehicles. So we were used a lot. And right before my leave, I was like, oh man, I'm not gonna be going out. You know, I got 2 weeks. I'm good. After my injury too, and missions started hitting us. That those 2 weeks we were getting slammed with some missions. So, and we were wearing dress shoes, and I had to. He duct taped me up just to move around. Every mission was my leg was like a bionic leg. It was duct tape just so I could carry my weight.
So you were basically just putting your heel in the ground and taking a step. Heel in the ground, taking a step with it locked in place.
Right.
For 2 weeks almost after you get injured.
I had to suck it up, yeah. Dude. And he doesn't like taking the elevators, you know. I didn't either, you know, over there. His, you know, power outages or whatnot. So we would take the stairs, and stairs in Iraq are double the size here.
Vertical.
You know? And they're levels too. So you may see fourth floor is, you know, not really the fourth floor.
Right. Right.
So yeah, so it was rough. But my guys, you know, we all looked just like the Army. We look out for each other.
Yeah.
You know. So I had the care I needed to carry on, and I was fine. Just looking forward to counting down the days to go home though. Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, Tosh, it doesn't surprise me that, the people around you would take care of you when you needed it. Because, I mean, that's what you do for everyone else. Mm-hmm. So that's, once again, man, that's, characteristic of you. You know what I mean? Getting it back. Yeah. So you tear your Achilles tendon, man. What, I can't even imagine that. Like Kevin Durant, tore his, right? Mm-hmm. Did he partially tear his or complete tear?
I think his was partial too.
Partial too?
Yeah.
What was your healing time on that? What's that even look like, man?
It took me like a year and a half. And I went into surgery, and I coordinated before I even got home. And so the day pretty much I got home, I went to go see the doctor.
Right.
And yeah, so they rescheduled surgery. I went under the knife, and my leg just started, ever since I got injured, it just started going, my calf muscle, I could just see it. It just started shrinking.
The atrophy.
Yeah. It was like my legs were like a toothpick on my right side, So that sucked. But, my whole upper body, though, was, I was still going to the gym on my crutches. I remember seeing Max Holloway at the UFC gym, Hawaii. He's like, man, you motivate me. I was in the sauna.
Yeah.
And I remember that's the first time I met Max, and he's like, man, you motivate me. You're in here with your crutches. So every day I was still hitting the gym,
Yeah.
And but I would hop around to these gyms, hobble around at these gyms, and one day I took a shower in one of the gyms because I had somewhere to go. So I took a shower. I think that's what messed me up. I got infected.
Oh,
got infected. My right leg got infected. And I was like, man, why is this itching? Like, something's wrong. It started like swelling, it started like yellow. I was like, this ain't right. So I went back over to the doc to get looked at. And he's like, it's infected. It's really infected.
Yeah.
He said it was really bad. Like, he said, if you don't go under the knife tomorrow, you could lose. I'm gonna have to amputate your foot. It was that bad.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, he said it's gonna get amputated. I was like, what? You gotta think. So I'm sweating, and then I go straight to the gym shower. All that dirt's going down to my legs,
Absolutely.
dripping down there. So that's all. It's just dripping down to your foot, and your foot's not the cleanest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go. They rushed me in there. Insurance. They didn't even wait on insurance for the call.
Yeah.
So he just put me on there like that next day, and they bivalved my cast because I'm real claustrophobic, so they cut the side down so I could replace it, put it on. It was that or Xanax. I was like, just cut the side because I don't want to take more pills. I was started taking hydrocodone for the pain and a bunch of antibiotics for just to heal.
Hey, Tosh,
So-
is that where they cut the side and they put like Velcro on the side to close it? Is that what they do?
They bivalved it, which was like a normal cast. They put the cast on, got it all hard, and then they had they sliced it with their little cast remover, sliced down the side, and they gave me like a ton of ace wraps.
Yeah.
And I could remove it and put it back on just to make sure I keep that area clean too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, definitely.
Then it got better. Thank God for that second surgery, and I didn't, like I said, I still went to the gym though. Still went to the gym, and it took a year and a half.
Yeah.
Now I can hit legs. I've been since healed. I take it kind of easy though. I still run. I still go on my runs with my dogs. I can still sprint. But he said, hey, you better be careful. So
Yeah,
I
definitely.
take a lot of vitamins for that. It's just my diet's it's pretty good with a lot of seafood just in case. So it's keep lubed up now.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Well, you're not getting younger, brother. You and I both look young, but we ain't getting younger, brother.
That's true.
All right, man. So, hey, so what was your transition like? So you're, where are you at right now with when you're healing up? You're there in Hawaii,
Right.
and what got you to Las Vegas? How are you there?
Wow. There's a few things I missed out. During contracting too. We didn't cover. I discussed it with you, but you didn't cover it, and it's something I would like to share with other veterans that might help them.
Okay.
During my contracting time, I was going through a real nasty divorce. You knew my daughter. I brought my daughter around you. You knew
Little
who
cutie,
my daughter
man.
was. Yeah.
Little cutie.
And we were really tight. So my ex and I were going through a rough patch at the time, and she threw the divorce word out, and which meant separation from my daughter, and that's what she did. So, we went through that rough patch, and that's where that was a life changer for me. I was, talking about rock bottom, kind of. That's kind of almost, I want to say one of the big obstacles I had to get over, and like I had one of my good friends, Donald DiNoio, he got me out of that. We call him Dino. He got me out of that rough patch, and I still talk to him to this day, and I still thank him to this day.
Yeah.
And I hope veterans, when they go through something like that, or if they know somebody that goes through something like that, help them. They're going through a divorce, help them. If they're going through any financial things, help them.
Well, I got to tell you, Tosh, it's, I tell everybody, and I think our parents used to tell this, and their parents used to tell them, if you're good to other people, good things will happen for you. And, hey, everybody, you for the people that don't know Byran, he is selfless. I mean, he will give his shirt off the back for you, like willingly and with a smile on his face. So if you can imagine somebody leaning forward to help Tosh out, he's probably done it 100 times for them, which is a great example, because we're trying to get that point across. If you stick with people, they'll be there for you, to help you through, some of these obstacles and struggles that you go through. Yeah.
True.
So
go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, what are you going to go ahead.
No, I'm saying, how did you bounce back from this, man? Is this like the beginning of your transition where you're kind of feeling it the most?
Yeah. I started feeling it. But coming off the Army, hopping over to contracting, that was a transition. But like you and I had spoke about, that was a chapter, it's a saga, to another, moving on to another. So that's what I have had a lot of. And, I think most of my life I've been always protecting, always looking over for somebody, or, kind of like, the Army thing, Yeah. So transitioning was actually when I was home off of, for my injury. Mm-hmm. That's when the real transition. That's when it was like, okay, you're injured, you're broken. What are you going to do? You can't work right now. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
I was thankful for the insurance and my workers' compensation. They took care of me.
Yeah.
That's where, but it was like, okay, when this ends, what are you going to do? I didn't know anything about benefits, what the military could still offer me. I didn't know about, education. I knew of guys that had education benefits. I didn't know, I was long gone through those classes because I went contracting. I pushed that aside. Like, okay, I'm doing this now. I'm not going to go e-benefits. Not going to call that 827-1000 number. There's no need to.
Yeah.
But now it was like, okay, I had to pull back and see, okay, what's available? What are my options?
Yeah.
What are the education? What are they going to pay me? How do I get looked at? Because getting out and transitioning out, post deployments and all that, I just want that stamp and that signature so I go hurry up and go home and see my daughter, hang out, go get lunch, leave the bowl, what is it, Conroy Bowl?
Conroy Bowl or the Aloha Bowl?
Yeah.
Something like that. Conroy Bowl, yeah.
Yeah. So it was hot in there. There was no AC. It was like we had those Hawaii vents. Like blinder vents. Yeah. So I want to get out of there and hurry up, go get a plate lunch somewhere, So we get in those lines, get those signatures, get those stamps, get out of there. Hurry up. The faster you get out, the better. That's what we would do, which is not the right thing, obviously. Yeah. You and I discussed as and so yeah, that's what. And then now I had to look back at that. What are my options? Yeah. Is it? How do I seek help? So I had to do that all on my own and find it, and that has been beneficial because I knew the loopholes. I knew who to contact, what to write, how to initiate claims, how to appeal claims, and the numbers and who to reach. And, so by me doing it myself, I've been able to help others do it,
Right. Yeah.
And, so like I said, everything happens for a reason. That's an obstacle I used as a stepping stone for myself to help other people, and it's been amazing doing so. I just got, I told you one of of my friends was in the Navy. Good buddy of a friend from Israel, actually, with Triple Canopy. His name's Corey Malverdi. I was able to get him some help and a lot of back pay for him and his family, which he was hurting for at the time. And and it's been nonstop. I mean, been helping. I'd say I can't count it on my hands anymore how many people have helped with their benefits and all that. So it's been great.
Well, hey Tosh, I know we talked the other day. You just got back from your VOC rehab counseling appointment to start that VA VOC rehab program. I'm glad to see, man, that you didn't leave yourself out of the help. Because you got to help yourself so you can be useful to others. And man, I'm excited for you to get in there to learn some knowledge, man, and start bringing it back to the community.
Right.
What are you going to go for? What are you majoring in?
Right. I'm going towards my bachelor's in nutrition.
Okay.
Something that I enjoy doing. I help people with their. I've been helping people with their diets and competitions and training and workouts for a very long time now. With not just that, with people with conditions like heart conditions or diabetes, and my mom, which recovered from breast cancer. I help her out because her diet was fluctuating. She gained a lot of weight and she lost a lot of weight. So I help her out. So that's what I enjoy doing.
Yeah. Well, hey, veterans, listeners out there, if you got some problems with your diet, reach out to Byran here, and he'll throw you some pointers. He's going to be learning them there at. Where are you going to be going to school at, brother?
I'm going to Purdue Global right now. That's what I've been doing. But I wanted to branch off with either UNLV or CSN and get my dietitian stuff locked down. Not just nutrition, but my dietitian certificate.
Right. Dude, go be a running rebel, man.
Yeah.
Go be a running rebel.
Yeah.
Get some tickets to the game, man. I'll fly out for a game. That'd be an awesome time, dude.
That would be cool. Or when Raiders Stadium opens up, you gotta fly out.
Oh, dude, yeah. You make that happen. I'll be there.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Hey, so, Byran, we were talking, man. What is the anchor that you have right now? The thing, that's really, that's put the most stones down for you to get where you are now. What would you say?
I want to say, I say my family, and not just my family. A lot of times when I get in a rough patch, I pray. I've turned into a Christian man, and not just my family, but God. So that's what I always go to. That's my go-to right there. Yeah. But my family support now, we're solid. We're pretty tight.
Well, that's the thing, man. It's like I knew you had family on the island, but you treated everybody like family. You know what I mean? Yeah. And a lot of people, when they come from, if they were raised in Hawaii, when they go other places, they bring that ohana with them.
Right.
And it's not surprising, man, that you surround yourself with good people, man, because that's just that's the Hawaiian way, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right, so
true.
Hey, so you're remarried.
Right.
And wife's name's Elvia.
Yeah.
Elvia.
Yeah.
Yep. How long you guys been married?
Married since 2017.
Okay. A couple years in the bag, all right.
A couple of years. I've known her for 5 years. And we got married since 2017.
All right.
Yeah.
And you got a stepson, right?
Right. He's actually behind me doing some laundry. Yeah, I got my stepson Tristan. He's been with us. He moved from Texas, and he wanted to finish his school here with us. So he actually graduated a couple months, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So congratulations to him.
And he's getting ready to join the Air Force, right?
Air Force, yeah. So he's got his test coming up in 3 weeks, counting down.
Yeah.
So he's getting those books, taking those practice tests and preparing himself for that.
He looks like he's a pretty tall kid, man. He just walked behind you. He looks like he's like 6 foot tall.
No, he is 6'4".
Holy shit! Yeah, that's a tall kid, man. Holy cow! Hey, Tosh. So I know you, and I can only imagine what Tristan's going through. How have you been influencing him, man? He's joining the Air Force. Is that got something to do with you, or what are you? How have you been influencing?
It does, because my past and his past kind of jive, like what he's been through so far to where he's at now. Almost identical, stepfather, moving from place to place. So it's been real helpful, me helping him and me kind of understanding a few things, and being able to be somewhat of a mentor, kind of guide him and not make the same mistakes I have, Yeah. So in that way, it's been great, and seeing that, it's been motivating myself, just to just give me that drive.
So Tristan's been influencing you.
Yeah.
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 I think a lot of people miss that. An opportunity, for somebody else that's just getting going or getting motivated. Like you motivated him, and then that motivation has, a unique feel of its own that can influence you. You know what I mean? You're seeing this stuff, and it's changing your perception about people and life in general. I'm excited for him, man. I hope you keep us updated, man. I hope you keep us updated. Maybe we'll do. We'll get all three of us on here when he comes back from basic, and we'll talk to him.
Yeah, he would like that.
He can. Here's the thing. Us veterans. We've been out for a while. You know the deal, man. Things change.
Right.
And I think bringing on someone that just came out of basic and kind of talk to us about their experience. Get our nerves up a little bit. Oh, you got to be kidding me! What? Yeah. Of course, I didn't go to Disneyland Air Force basic, but it's still it'll still be good to hear, though. Still be good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, he asks me questions every day. He's like, "It's just the first week that's going to be passed."
Yeah.
No, it's the airport.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, man. His PT is probably pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Being around you, I imagine his PT is pretty strong.
Yeah, his training started a long time ago. He's on a pretty good diet too, as well. He played football. So his team undefeated. So he's good to go.
Nice.
He's a lineman too. So yeah.
Better be 6'4".
Yeah.
Holy cow, man.
Yeah.
So what? Hey, so let's talk about the things you do now. We always talk to veterans about, hey, what are you doing to reinforce, the positive steps and situation that you're in? How do you keep that going? Adding new things or hobbies or something like that. What are you doing now to maintain this momentum that you've got going?
Well, now I'm able to spend a lot of time with my family, and that's something I never had time for. I mean, there was time for, but like job or just never had the weekend off. But now I'm able to have the time to do so, and we're just enjoying it. Using that time and as far as hobbies, like I love outdoors, and it's free. Go drive somewhere.
Yeah.
To 30 minutes away in Montrose and go have, which is like 70 degrees right now, rather than being in 100 something degrees. So we drive over there, spend time on the field, bring a sack of lunch and some drinks and lawn chairs, and go sit with some wild horses on a field on the side of a mountain that has waterfalls, and lodge up there. It's beautiful. It's like 30-40 minutes away. So I do stuff like that. Just get out, and
dude,
try to get out of the house.
You got me wanting to go up there to Montrose and hang out. That looks pretty peaceful, man.
It's actually really nice. We went on this hike. It's called the North Trail Loop to the South Trail Loop, and nice stroll. I mean, you got old women up there, but you're walking next to a creek of water, just cold water walking out. I took took one of my dogs up there, Ellie, with us, and she loved it. It was just walking through the water because the snow's all melting on the top there. It was beautiful.
Man.
So that's why I like to just get out. You know, we drive over to Zion every now and then, hit a few trails there. That's 3 hours to go to California, but mainly just trying to stick around here and go spend some time outdoors.
Have you gone down and saw Gutierrez and Moreno yet?
No, I heard him on your show, and I heard him mention me, and I got a kick out of that. You know, all your podcasts, I've been getting a kick out. I love every single one of them. I have them on every day now.
Tosh, I have to tell you, man. I actually have to ask you what Goots was saying, that you invited him to your place for a barbecue, and you made him like spaghetti or something with just like tomato sauce.
Spanish rice, you know. And
it was rice with just tomatoes on it.
Yeah, I tell you what, I perfected that recipe now. That my wife, she's a Latina, so I don't joke around my Mexican cooking anymore.
All right, so Goots, hey, I here's the thing, man. Goots took it as if you were messing with him.
No.
But what you're saying is you were just not a very good cook back then.
No, I wasn't. I mean, I tried. I tried my best, you know. But yeah, I was laughing.
Oh, Tosh, you crack me up, dude. I miss you, man. You're a good dude, brother.
I miss all you guys. Yeah, you too. I really do. We got to have a reunion here in Vegas or something.
Yeah, we got to get something going, man. We got to get something.
Like, though, everybody comes here, you know.
Yeah.
My family, they go on vacation. Hey, let's go to Vegas. So they come to Vegas. Like, I got my mom and my brother and my in-law coming over. And we're trying to get my mother-in-law out here too. So everybody comes here, which is cool because it's a vacation spot, you know. Going to Hawaii, that's costly, but this is a nice island here, so everybody comes here.
Yeah.
So that's why I think you guys should plan a trip out here.
Well, you know what, man? Let's. I think after this episode, people will start talking about it a little bit more. You know, there's a lot of stuff to do, like you said. You know, Raiders getting ready to come to town here. What, a couple of years? Another year?
Yeah, and another year. The stadium's like almost halfway done, I want to say.
Yeah, so like not this season, but next season. So there's tons of concerts there. There's tons of outdoor stuff to do. Really any time of year. I bet you anything, man, that some folks will get together and start making some plans. If that happens, I'll definitely be there because I'll run the podcast from right there. We'll do live. We'll do live episodes and just start. We'll do roundtables too. Just get 4 or 5 veterans together and just.
I got, and anybody want to come over here too? I got some space. You know, you could, it's for Airbnb, but I got some space here too. I got extra rug and extra futons and everything.
Hey, you hear it, folks. You hear it, folks. Tosh is saying, come on to Vegas. So let's get on Facebook. Let's start talking, and let's figure out how we can get together and maybe put together a couple of things we can just do as a group, and then everybody kind of enjoy a vacation, maybe with the family and the kids.
Yeah. Yeah, I know there's a bunch of cacti here too as well. Like I told you, I bumped into Sergeant First Class Robinson yesterday.
Yep.
You know, so there's a bunch of cacti here. I didn't know he was here, but I found out yesterday. So it's pretty cool.
Hey, stay with him, man, because like you said, he was having some health problems. So make sure you check in on him. When I get there, I'd like to be able to.
He looked good.
Yeah.
He looked good. I think he since that would have happened, I think he, with his heart, I think he changed everything. You know, of course, if that happened to me, what do I need to eat to get better? What do I need to do to get better? You know, so that's what I think what he did.
Good.
The warrior. You know, he looked great. He looked great.
Awesome.
In shape. His wife was in shape. They looked good. So it was nice seeing him.
Yeah. Man, it's always good to catch up with somebody, especially, man, you're walking in the VA parking lot and just by chance see them.
Yeah.
That's the best time. That's the best time, dude.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, that awesome facility out here. Yeah.
How do they treat the veterans there in Nevada, you say?
Oh, it's been night and day from anywhere else I've been. There's the main facility, and you have all these other ones like branch off, like if you for other appointments. But the main clinic's like your specialty. Everything's there.
Yeah.
And if it's not, and they want to send you somewhere closer to you, and you choose to, they send you to an out clinic or a specialist outside of the VA.
Yeah.
And they pay for it. But it's been great here. it's just, you got a boo-boo or whatever, you go to ER, they take care of you. Everything. I've had to go to the ER because I was like sick. I had like food poisoning one day, and they took care of me. Yeah. I mean, I want to say one of the best hospital around the valley.
Yeah.
Is the VA. Yeah.
Hey folks, if you're looking, for the listeners out there, if you're looking to make a move to somewhere better, where you can, get a better job, maybe something better for the family, I don't know, or maybe you're looking for, better medical care, and you're thinking of moving, to Nevada or Vegas, get with Tashima and get some background. Reach out to these veterans that are in other states that you're getting ready to go to and find out how good their VA care is, if that's what you're going to use. So you know that you and your family are covered.
Yeah, I think that's important. As you know, Hawaii, you have all the branches there, and I think the only place that I know of was Tripler.
Yeah, it gets bogged down.
I remember going there, and it was a mess. It was a mess.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why I say night and day from there to here. It's just, hopefully it's changed there by now since when I went. Hopefully they've gotten better, because that's right when we had all just got back anyway. So yeah. I hope by now there's better.
Well, I know Tripler, the medical system there on the island, it is pretty stressed, because Tripler, they have the agreement with, with the local, the island itself.
Yeah.
And then you got all the services right there. And then, they were taking, people don't really imagine, at least I didn't, that Hawaii, if somebody got hurt, that they would return, to the island to in the hospital. You would think they would stay at, one of the big hospitals on the mainland.
Right.
But, people come right back, and they get services through Tripler. So you're looking at that place getting, sometimes triple, wearing a triple hat. So that's definitely going to stress the system. But yeah, I'm sure they're getting it back up and running, man. I'm gonna reach out to the U.S. vets over there and talk to them about their two U.S. vets facilities they have. They help homeless veterans.
Oh, nice.
And they've got two locations there on the island. Because it's think of how many guys you knew that got out and they just went and got a job, had a roommate, and they lived on the island, and their roommate got out and left the island, and now they can't survive. So. They're in the perfect place to be homeless. So the veteran homeless population there is pretty large, much like San Bernardino, LA area.
Wow.
But yeah, I like those guys. I like what they're doing, man, with the homeless folks.
Right. All
right, Byron. So hey, what are your lessons learned, man? What did you use that worked, that got you to where you are? I know your faith in God has got you there, your family. You cut out drinking.
Right.
Where are the big points, man, that other veterans can grab a hold of and use?
Wow. Well, like I said, I mentioned the whole divorce portion. And I also talked to you about, we had talked about the whole ego thing, I think.
Yeah.
That discussion. I think that's one thing that needs to be discussed, because a lot of people they just remain quiet about anything they're going through, But for myself, I bottle things up, and I wouldn't talk to anybody about my problems or whatever I'm going through. But I feel as if I confide in somebody that I trust, and it's better. It's a lot better for me.
Yeah.
Instead of just keeping it and keep it in my head. So that is a big thing. That I had to learn, just to discuss things.
We were talking yesterday about just it's toxic to your body. They say it's like, they talk about toxic masculinity and things like that, but keeping things inside, centralized, it's toxic to your system. I mean, you're talking about cognition is clouded. So the decision making that you make, when you're going through, these situations that are pulling you down, it just it chews you up if you can't get it out.
It does, right?
Man,
it does.
They're man. I'm glad that we got a chance to talk, man.
Oh yeah, me too.
Not only a lot of people think that the veterans come on. I get something out of every conversation, and I had forgotten just how mighty you were, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, here's the thing, and I can tell you right now, nobody listening to this that knows you is gonna disagree. You are a force. You know what I'm saying? You always have been.
Thank you.
And you're out here now, man. And the reason I say that, folks, is when Tashima says things, he means them. You know what I mean? And we've had some conversations, and it took us a while to kind of get through this point, but it's deep stuff.
It is.
But you can't carry that weight with you, man. Like we were talking about. You can't run around with your ruck overflowing with problems. You got to get rid of them. And it kind of goes back to that thing where you got to take care of yourself, because if your rucksack is full, you can't take on anyone else's load to kind of help them lighten their load. So you gotta open up, because other people open up to you too, and then you can help each other out.
Yeah. And since I found out about your podcast, like I said, I keep one on. It's part of my thing. When I clean it up downstairs after, when I get my day going. Mm-hmm. That's been helpful. Hearing everybody else on there, and I appreciate what you're doing. For all the other veterans and that are listening, maybe veterans' families, because that's going to help as well for them to understand what we may be going through mentally.
Yeah.
It's overall the listener. Yeah, all the listeners.
What do you what can you say to the veterans out there that are thinking about coming on the show? Has this been good for you, or what can you say about it?
There's been ever since we've been talking, I think it's been good. I've been talking to my wife about something, about it, and to do it. I'd say get on. You need to share your story. You need to share what you've been through, because there may be someone out there, they may be gone through it, or going through it, or may go through it, and it's going to give some sort of guidance, or just knowing that you're not alone. You're not alone, and there's help. If there's not help, this podcast or that those words out there are helpful. Yeah. That just knowing that you're not alone. There's hundreds probably been in the same position, if not worse, than what you may be going through or what you have gone through, and it's going to help somebody. It will.
Well, hey Tosh, I think I think your episode is going to help a lot of folks too. For people to kind of put together. You can use what would be a negative as a positive and grow from it and learn from it each time, instead of going backwards. I mean, you took some backward steps. You were on crutches. You stumbled around a little bit, but other than that, you've self-corrected. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And a lot of people do that. A lot of people self-correct. I don't know that self-correcting from 9 years, 10, actually like 12 years of living under fire. And for you to do that, man, I'm proud of you, brother. I am. I'm very proud of you. Proud to have served with you, man. In the company of damn heroes, brother. That was my career. That's my story right there. I joined the military. I was in the company of heroes. Period. That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Heck yeah.
So what do you think about What do you think about us putting an episode together that you can come on here, you can host it, maybe talking about nutrition, talk about some maybe some workouts, things of that nature. Maybe come on and talk about upper body, talk about lower body, maybe talk about things that us older veterans, us broke ones, something we can do to stay active, because as we get older, we put the weight on, something happens in life, we get away from good habits and we start into bad habits. So man, if you can help us out here tighten up our shot group, man, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all possible. Like, there's some people that were obese, you know, and it's possible. Like, they just never thought it was possible. They just kept eating what they wanted, but it's possible. You gotta just kind of do it.
Well, let's get you on here, man.
I'd love to do that. Yeah.
We'll do, I don't know, we'll call it like Tosh's nutrition corner or something.
Yeah.
Or get, get buff with Tosh or something. I don't know. We'll figure something out, brother.
Some people want that magic pill overnight, Oh, I don't see any results. What's going on? But then finally, when they see those results, they're so happy. Yeah. So happy.
You know what I learned, man, is over time, being in the gym, back in the HOA days, like you get that like initial soreness, like that where it's like hard to move.
Yeah.
But the second you're good and you go back in and I feel that soreness.
Yeah.
I know I'm growing. Yeah. And then any time I'm like, man, my shoulders are sore, and I know it's not like deep down in the bone, it's the muscle. I just sat there and smile, man. I just sat there and smile. Waving at the sergeant major. Hey, what's up? No, I'm just happy, Forget to salute. Now, I've come out of I'm not gonna lie, brother. I've come out of the gym before. In fact, I came out of the gym with Perkins one day, and we had done a shoulder workout, and man, I did 2 plates on each side on the Smith machine overhead press for 3, and we came out of the gym there at Kandahar. And there was like a group of officers, and I just come rolling through. I'm like, yeah. And they look at me like, yeah. And they give me like, you going to salute us? And I just kept rolling, man. Perkins stops and throws a salute at him. He's like, yeah, hey, sorry, you've got to salute those guys. Oh, fuck those guys. Oh. It was crazy, dude. It was crazy. Good times, man. Good times. Good folks out there.
You're an animal back there. You're kind of scared in the gym over there.
No, man. Like going into the military was just, this shit was right up my alley. Going to the gym, staying healthy, staying active. And, I contribute, to folks like yourself, man, that kept me young. Because, I don't know how many times I'd be on a run and I know I'm breathing hard, and I kind of maybe turn my head a little bit to see if I can hear someone else. I look over at the formation. Are these guys sucking wind too? And I look over and they're giggling, laughing, smiling. I'm like, this is not going to work. And I'm running on Saturdays and Sundays trying to stay in the game, man. But you do what you got to do to stay in the company of heroes, man. You do what you got to do. And that's what it's all about. Well, hey, Tosh, you got anything else for us, man?
No. I like to call out a few people to be on this show, actually.
Dude, give some call outs, man. Do it.
Z, get on the show.
Who's that? Who's Z? Oh, Zavala?
Yeah.
Oh, Zavala.
He's retired Command Sergeant Major.
Yeah.
Retired? Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, he's lived.
I think, oh yeah.
Z's would be a great story. And I still, to this day, dude, I can be walking anywhere with nobody around me. And I can just remember and hear his words when he was telling me about that IED. I'm in his room. I'm in his little room there in our compound, and he's standing there. He ain't got no shirt on. He's wearing Ranger panties.
Yeah.
And I come walking in. I'm like, First Sergeant, what's going on? He's like, oh, hey. He's telling me about it. He goes, yeah, and it went off. It blew my britches off. It blew his pants off of him. And then every time he said it, every time I think of him saying that it blew his pants off, it makes me laugh. Even though it wasn't funny at the time, it still made me chuckle on the inside. Now it's yeah. Z's a good man. He looked out for me, quite a few times.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think a lot of people he's looked out for. A lot of people. And that's why I would really like him on there because, he's helped out, I think, a lot of people.
That'd be a big episode.
And a few people I lost contact with, but I think, that's good for them because I know they've gone and done some really good things for other veterans and programs. Wallace Fanene and Robert Samuels.
Yeah.
I know those guys they're doing some good things with some wounded veterans and all that. So I don't know what they're up to nowadays, but that'd be nice to hear what they've been doing, helping others.
I don't know where Samuels is. I know Fanene is there in California. He's just an hour south of Moreno Valley, California. We were supposed to link up, but they had a like a concert or something like that they were going to. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know he's got a lot of knowledge, and I'm sure a lot of helpful knowledge that'll help a lot of people. Some certain situations.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Definitely. Yeah, I'd love to get Fanene on here, man, and bring some of his resources he has, put them out there, put some, get them highlighted, get him highlighted. Another great warrior right there.
Yeah.
All right, Tosh. Well, hey, man, drop us some safety brief, man.
I remember some funny safety briefs back in the day. I just crack up. You've heard them all too. But in all reality, though, spend time with your family. Life's short. That's what I learned. I put God first, and my family. I had something that I didn't always do all my life. Coming off deployments. All I want to do is hang out with my friends, do this, do that. So I really didn't spend time with my family. But I find that that's very important, very, very important. That's what I got to put out for that.
Hey, I'm gonna leave it there, man, because that's good. That's I couldn't do any better. Hey, Tashima, thank you for coming on the show, man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate it,
dude. It's I feel confident in my own future with you back in my life, man. So thank you for coming back in, brother. Thank you for letting me back in.
Yeah, thank you for doing what you do. This is amazing. Man.
We're gonna keep rocking it, man, as long as we can. Hey, everybody, this is Heart of a Volunteer Veterans Podcast. Hey, once again, another great episode. We got a little deep. That's always a good thing. Nothing wrong with that. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, leave some comments so these veterans can hear what you're saying. Reach out to Tashima if you need anything. If you know him, reach out to him. Say hello. If you don't know him, but you're intrigued, reach out to him. Say something. If you need some help with some workouts or things like that, get with him too, and he'll help you out. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to us today. And everybody have an amazing and a safe weekend. Heart of a Volunteer Veterans Podcast. Copyright 2018.